y'all, I just literally thought it would be a good idea to make a video because I'm at work and I have the position of checking temperatures because y'all know this COVID bullshit going on right now. So I am able to sit down and gather my thoughts together and make a video. So I have a lot of updates, but I don't think I'm gonna like establish all of the updates like in this video. I'm actually reading this post or this article on the internet, trying to gear myself up to start and complete Insanity by Shanti. If y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard about it in the fitness world. It was a really big hit when it first came out. So I'm gonna be starting that back up because I actually started T25 like 2 weeks ago, and I got through my first week and I got to week 2 day 1, and then I kind of missed that workout, and from there it just kind of carried on. But I really do, I'm tired of tripping up over my feet because it feels like my shoes are tied and I'm trying to like run this marathon, and the whole like tripping and getting back up, dusting myself off process is beginning to like really get old. You know, we all have our times where we start off very strong and then somewhere in the process we get distracted, but I feel like my distractions and my setbacks always make me a lot more stronger and wiser in the end. So like I tend to not look at my inconsistencies or, you know, certain like negative habits. Like I try not to be like too hard on myself when it comes to those things because every day like we're a work in progress, and so like not every day I may be perfect, but you know, as long as I'm striving every day to like get on my feet and to make the necessary adjustments to see results, then I feel like you know, I'll be fine because there's no competition but myself. I'm not in a race or in competition with any other human being or soul besides me, Dana. So yeah, so what really made me come on and do this video was like I said, I was reading the article about insanity and how to push through it, because insanity is a very intense program, and it takes a lot of physical discipline and mental discipline to be able to even get through one 45-minute workout, let alone month 2 where you have hour-long workouts. And I be doing my little 25-30-minute workouts, and yeah, mentally I just be like, you know, dang, it's only been 3 minutes, but I'm striving to get away from that mindset and just have a different outlook. I want the outlook that I had when I completed Insanity Max 30. And Insanity Max 30 actually is said to be more intense than the original Insanity, which I found crazy because I completed Insanity Max 30, the entire 2-month program, and I saw like so many changes that was like life changing for me. But anyways, the article topic mentioned getting your mind right, and that's been a constant theme that has been showing its face the last couple of months as I've been in and out, because I've noticed also with myself is I'm either two extremes. I'm either all the way healthy or all the way consuming healthy foods and, you know, activities and things like that, or I'm either like on the processed side and indulging in all the things that I'm like striving to get away from. So there's like no middle. There's like no middle or halfway like with me. It's just like, it's like all here or all there. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like it can be, or anything can be a bad thing, but I also feel like I was about to say, do I feel like that's a good thing? I don't know, but I've just noticed that be the case with me. And so right now I'm kind of in the teetering section because again y'all, I feel like that's why I haven't made update videos either, because it's like some of the same repetitive stuff. But at the same time, again, we have to take into consideration that I've been eating this way. It's my way of life, or it has been my way of life. And so to get away from some of these things, or getting rid of the last of it, it may take, it may take a little longer, or a lot longer than it would for me to just cut out meat, because meat didn't take me that long to cut out. Once I was pretty much, done with meat, I was like, cool. And then I had other things to eat. But the fact that, like, with raw living and consuming, like, foods in their raw form, all my life, like, I've not had much of those types of foods, to be honest with you. Everything was pretty much processed, even from cupped, fruit with, syrup, the big heavy syrup that's mostly made of sugar and stuff like that. I might have had an apple or something, like at the lunch, at the cafeteria or whatever, they have that on the side, but that wasn't my main concern. And chances are it wasn't something that, like, it was probably something that I left on my plate. Not to say I didn't like it, but I was consumed with other things, so therefore that wasn't a part of, like, my reality as much as it is now. And so, like, I have to take into that factor and be kind of gentle on myself when I do consider myself to have messed up. But again, it goes back to that changing of thought, where nothing that you do is a failure until you quit. Like, everything is kind of like a dress rehearsal. It's gearing you up, giving you that momentum and that, experience, so that you can master whatever it is you're striving to master. So this is one of those things. I'm not really beating myself up about it. My skin is breaking. The same things that I discuss in my other videos, are happening. So said all that to say, I'm in the process of getting my mind right. My goal is to get my body right. But in order to get my body right, I have to have my mind right. My mindset has to be that of will and determination and, belief and faith in myself that I can do it. And I know that I have it in me, because I've been there before. I've been to the point where I let nothing stop me. I let nothing discourage me. And I kept pushing even when I didn't understand or know if I was going to get results. Like, I just knew that me not doing anything at all wasn't going to help my case. So the only answer was to make myself uncomfortable and get myself develop new habits that align with, what I can't stop thinking about. And that's just overall, like, being healthy, being happy with what I see in the mirror. I'm not wanting to be perfect. I'm not wanting to look like anybody else. I'm wanting to look like me, but I'm wanting to look like me in alignment. I look disembalanced sometimes on a spiritual, mental, and physical level, because of all the, like, wrong, education and information and stuff that, like, we've been, fed our entire lives. But I'm just in the process now, because what actually made me want to speak on this topic, along with reading the article that I'm reading, because one of the, what is it called? One of the headlines in the article passage was "Get your mind right," and I always ask myself this, like, how do I get myself out of this goddamn loop, this goddamn cycle that I put myself in? Like, I always wonder how I first relapse, and how do I, like, regain control of myself. And I think I'm starting to, like, figure it out. As many times as I've gone through it, like, I really think I'm starting to understand it. And I think with my how I relapse is I got bored. I don't think my plan was as I don't think I planned well enough. I think I planned to a certain extent, but what I'm noticing is, like, it comes with more, like, the obstacles, like, even small things, like, such as, like, my workouts, for instance. If I don't plan a certain time frame to do my workouts, I feel like if I put it off and be like, oh, I'm gonna work out this afternoon, I'll work out, after I do this, that, and the third, I feel like chances are it'll get to the point where I will be like, yeah, I'm just not gonna work out today at all. I'll just make it up tomorrow, or, like, other excuses. And that's the same thing that happened with me in eating food or consuming food. I relapse because I'll convince myself that I'm strong enough to handle even this small thing, or I'll start off by saying, okay, I'm only going to, like, I might be like, oh, I'm transition off of cooked foods, but if I do consume cooked foods, then I'm gonna consume alkaline foods, and then next thing you know, like, I'll have another idea in mind in the route and direction I should go as to what I'm consuming, and then it just overcomplicates things versus me just cutting it off, like just cutting it off cold turkey. If I'm an addict to these things, then why continue to like indulge in that drug, knowing that it's going to cause me, like, it's gonna send me into a craze, it's gonna send me down a spiral loop that I'm gonna have a very difficult time getting off of. And it's like the theme of detoxing the body also has come into like my thoughts as well, because I'm just like, if I'm striving to detox and cleanse and to live a life of high vibrational things, then I can't continue to dibble and dabble in low vibrational things, especially when I have the will. Like, I will have the will and determination and start off really well, and then I will let my mind psych me out and convince me. Like, I swear, like, I've been studying myself these last couple of, like, sorry, Bob, did y'all just see me spit? Whatever, it was an accident. But I've been studying myself these last couple weeks for real, and I just noticed that, like, with the flick of a coin, like with the flip of a coin, like, my mind will change, and I will start off in the morning being like, okay, today's the day, I'm cutting it off cold turkey, and then, you know, maybe an hour or so later, I may want something, and it's like my mind has full control of me, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all, because I've had, I wouldn't say full control of my mind before, but I've had a pretty, like, tight grip of my mental thoughts and my mindset overall before, and I know how that is, to where I fasted 7 days, water only, nothing else, a full, I don't know how many hours, I think it's like 155, something like that, but I fasted a full 7 days, just water only, being in the house, having to fix my child's food, you know, watching food, like, so that takes a lot of mental discipline. Also with, you know, like creating a plan as far as like working out and doing Insanity Max 30, and committing to that each and every day, no matter how much I didn't feel like doing it. Like, there at that time, it was like I was so focused, and I'm in the direction to get myself back to that place and maintain that place, because it's one thing getting to that place, but my thing that I've noticed for the first time that I have a big time, or like a challenging time dealing with, is maintaining that. Because like I said, down the line, like, I'll get bored, I'll say, with these certain creations, which is not true. It's just my mind trying to convince me to get anything close to like what I'm comfortable with, what I've been consuming these last like 26 years, but 27 years, and it's just all starting to make a lot of sense now. But with the sense that I'm gaining, I don't want it to go to waste. I want to actually implement these things, and so I'm in the process of getting my mind right, because once you get your mind right, the body will follow. If you go into anything with a negative mindset, and you go into things feeling like, oh, you can't do it, and oh, you won't do it, and oh, I'm gonna be inconsistent, and I'm gonna fail, and when you take that kind of energy into doing something, why would you expect anything, positive to come out of, that? So, I'm just kind of, giving myself a hug, but at the same time kicking myself in my ass, because these are things I know. These are things I know, but I know that sometimes, like, even though you may know something, it may take time for it to penetrate, and for it to really, like, for you to fully, like, understand it. And this is one of those things that, like, I'm starting to slowly, like, understand. And yeah, I just thought it would be kind of nice to come on and share with you guys, especially considering the fact that I have the time to, like, sit down and really, like, create a video. Because at home, like I tell y'all in my other videos, my baby, she do not let me in peace. But yeah, y'all, so yeah, that is where I am right now. I'm gonna show this piece before I get off. I actually, again, created a plan for myself. I have to go down and thoroughly, I have to go down and thoroughly share it with you guys. If you want me to, I can do that in another video. But for this, I had to create a plan of action. It's actually called Dana the Holistic Goddess Wellness Lifestyle Plan. I have on here reminders. Like, one of my favorite Kemetic diet quotes or teachings from Kemetic diet is the quote, and I actually have a video where the thumbnail shows this quote, or this this quote. It says, the weakened will disables a person's reasoning capacity as well as their willpower to resist the urge for foods. And I strongly feel that when my will is when my will is weakened, it disables my reasoning. Like, every logical thing goes out the window because I want what I think. Like, and if it's food and I'm craving something, I feel like because I have the ability to go get it, I should. So that then creates a lack of willpower for me to resist the urge of foods. And I'm just at the process now where I'm rebuilding my will. And I have stuff from the 12 Universal Laws of Success, just things that encourage me. And I have up here to read when the mind is feeling like it's losing focus. And I just kind of customized it so that when I read it, it feels like I'm talking to myself. Also on here, I have the absolutely no list, where if anything fits in this category, then it means that I can't have it. And I have written up here by absolutely no, which is highlighted in green. It says, remember, one bite, just one bite, will send you into a loop that is tough to get out of. Acne, uneven dull skin tone, not so pleasant body odor, frustration, mental anguish, fatigue, lack of motivation, huge expense on food, cravings, weight gain, bloating, and gas. It takes you weeks, sometimes months, to regain balance. It's so not worth it. These are all the things you want to get away from. You can't stop thinking about it. Dana the Holistic Goddess. Again, check above. You have many delicious options. Embrace and be creative. Master thyself. Give thanks and be thankful. And at the top here, where it says Kemetic Lifestyle Plan, these are all the things that I can consume. So it says like 100% raw foods, fresh vegetables and fruits, green vegetable juices, distilled water, fresh homemade nut milks, natural sweeteners, natural spices, herbs, and superfoods, soap nuts, raw cold pressed unrefined oils such as like coconut oil and flax oil. And then also at the back, I have my daily list and my weekly list of things that, like, no matter what I'm doing, like, these are things that should be like, drink a minimum of 64 ounces of water, ingest the super mega greens or the protein or the sea moss, read for 30 minutes minimum, physical movement at least a minimum of 30 minutes, meditate a minimum of 10 minutes in the morning and night, homeschool my daughter at least 30 minutes every day, and then weekly I'll do water enemas at least 1 to 3 times a week, which they'll be normally on my off days. Fast 24 hours, preferably on my born day, which is actually today, and I am about 10 hours into my fast. I'm just doing a water fast today. So yeah, and then physical movement at least 4 times a week. And I had to create this. I carry this around. That's why it's all like folded up. I carry this around, and at any sign of me feeling like I want to like throw all of my made progress away, I just take this out and I read this because it encourages me, and I customize this so it has things on it that will kind of like reel me back in, so that I don't make the same mistakes. Because like I said, sometimes my actions may not show that I want to get away from, you know, the things that I say I want to get away from, but at the same time, I really do, and I'm making progress. And making this video actually made me feel better about, you know, the progress that I'm making, because I can be really tough on myself sometimes just because I know better. So it's no excuses as why I can't do better. It's just these negative patterns. And I'm gonna leave with this because I actually have a quote on here that is from the 12 Universal Laws of Success, and it's from the section of the Universal Law of Focus. And it says, the saboteur within. Well, I'm gonna read the saboteur within and self-discipline, then I'm gonna end this video. We'll end this little quote right here from Committed Diet. It says, the purpose of physical disease is to push the person to change their negative habit patterns of mind and diet, thus becoming more sagely in their behavior, control of mind, negative emotions of the mind, developing willpower to change, learning about the nature of the body and its proper needs, learning to breathe properly, etc. For those who resist, the journey will take many lifetimes and experiences of frustration. Now that's from Comedic Diet, but this right here is from 12 Universal Laws of Success, from the section talking about the universal law of focus. The saboteur within. Often when you begin your journey on the path, there appears to be a negative part of you that works against the positive things you attempt to do. It is in disharmony with the positive part of you which pursues your goals, vision, and purpose. This negative part of you functions as a saboteur in all your endeavors. The tools of this saboteur are distractions, discouragement, distrust, doubt, indecision, procrastination, apathy, arrogance, isolation, and low self-esteem. This saboteur is neutralized by constantly focusing your attention, your actions, and your feelings on your goals, vision, and purpose. To focus your attention, your actions, and your feelings require self-discipline or self-control. And then this is where it talks about self-discipline. Self-discipline, to have self-control, means that you have taken possession of your mind in such a strength and degree that your emotions, your instincts, and your body are under your control. Self-discipline is control from within. Your self-discipline begins with your thoughts. If you cannot control your thoughts, you cannot control your actions or emotions. When you have control over the thoughts, you can never be mastered by others. You will always be able to take possession of whatever you are entitled to or deserve. That's real. That's really, really real. And then this last one is a comedic wisdom teaching, which says, it is very hard to leave things we have grown used to, which meet our gaze on every side. Appearances delight us, whereas things that appear not make their believing hard. Evils are the more apparent things, whereas the good, the divine, can never show itself into the eyes, for it hath neither form nor figure. Which I like that quote, and it resonated with me because it said that, let me refresh my memory. It's hard to leave things alone that we've grown used to, and I find that very true because of the way, you know, our habits have been developed. And that it says it meets us on the gaze of every side. Because I feel like even when I'm striving to like keep myself focused and keep my eyes, like keep my mind on things that align me, those past habits and stuff like that, even if I may not be acting on them now, I still will always be reminded of that because that was a part of me, because that was a part of my lifestyle and that was how I grew. So it says then it gets into appearances delight us. Appearances of food delights us. The senses, the worldly pleasures delight our senses. So, and then it says, whereas things that make appearing not believing, whereas things that appear not make their believing hard, which is like the spiritual journey. Like, because a lot of people don't feel as if they're getting anywhere with it in the beginning, it makes it more difficult to like stick to. Sometimes you may get discouraged. You may feel like, oh, because I can't see these things, that means that it's not happening, when in reality it very well could be, but you may not be giving it a chance, or you may be focused on the things that you're trying to like grow from. And then it also says that the evils are more apparent. So I think about like food, like it's more apparent and it's like everywhere. But things that of the good, the divine, it doesn't show its eyes because it's more things in the unseen form. And so to be able to tap into those things, you have to surpass the evil apparent things. Sorry if I made that all confusing, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I really enjoyed expressing myself, and I hope you all are having a good day. I hope you all enjoyed this video, learned something from it, took something from it. Maybe it inspired you a little bit. It inspired me, and I'm really glad that I took the time to sit down and tell it all. So with that being said, family, peace, love, and light, and I will see you guys in another video. Peace, peace, peace.